You're staring at a screen, scrolling through an endless feed, and suddenly, you're hit with a notification your bank account is overdrawn. How did this happen? You use your smartphone for everything, from waking up in the morning to falling asleep at night. But have you ever stopped to think about the cost of this convenience? You're not just paying for the phone itself, but also for the data, apps, and services that come with it. And let's not forget about the accessories, cases, headphones, and screen protectors. It all adds up, and before you know it, you're spending hundreds of dollars a month on your smartphone habit. You're paying for the privilege of being constantly connected, but is it worth it? Are you really getting the value you think you are? Data expenses are one of the biggest hidden costs of smartphone ownership. You think you're getting a good deal on your data plan, but the truth is, you're probably paying for more data than you need. And what about all the apps and services that use data in the background? You might not even realize it, but they're eating away at your data allowance, racking up extra charges on your bill. And then there are the data roaming charges, a whole new level of expense. You can easily end up with a bill that's hundreds of dollars more than you expected. So, how can you avoid these surprise charges and keep your data expenses under control? Online shopping is another way that smartphones can drain your wallet. It's just so easy to click and buy, without even realizing the implications. You're not just paying for the product itself, but also for shipping, handling, and sometimes even import duties. And what about the subscription services, streaming, music, and software? They might seem like a good deal at first, but they can add up quickly, and before you know it, you're spending hundreds of dollars a month on things you don't even use. So, how can you avoid the temptation of online shopping and stick to your budget? Mobile payments are convenient, but they can also be a recipe for financial disaster. You're not just paying for the product or service, but also for the fees associated with the transaction. And what about the security risks, hacking, phishing, and identity theft? You might think you're safe, but the truth is, you're not. So, how can you protect yourself from these risks and use mobile payments safely? The psychology of spending is a powerful force that can drive your financial decisions. You're not just buying products or services, you're buying emotions, experiences, and status. And smartphones are designed to exploit these desires, to keep you hooked in spending. So, how can you recognize these psychological triggers and avoid them? How can you break free from the cycle of consumption and achieve financial stability? The impact of smartphone costs on your finances can be significant. You might think it's just a few dollars here and there, but it adds up quickly. And what about the opportunity cost, the things you could be doing with that money instead? You could be saving, investing, or paying off debt. So, how can you prioritize your spending and make sure you're getting the most value for your money? Breaking free from the cycle of smartphone addiction and overspending requires discipline and self-awareness. You need to recognize the psychological triggers that drive your spending and avoid them. You need to prioritize your finances and make sure you're getting the most value for your money. And you need to find alternative ways to manage your time and stay entertained, without relying on your smartphone. So, how can you start making these changes and achieving financial stability? There are alternatives to smartphones that can help you break free from the cycle of addiction and overspending. You could try using a basic phone or a feature phone, or even just a smartwatch. You could also try using cash instead of mobile payments, or avoiding online shopping altogether. So, how can you explore these alternatives and find what works best for you? In conclusion, smartphones can be a hidden poverty trap, draining your wallet and affecting your financial stability. But by recognizing the hidden costs, avoiding the psychological triggers, and prioritizing your finances, you can break free from the cycle of consumption and achieve financial stability. You can take control of your spending and make conscious choices about how you use your smartphone. So, what will you do today to start making a change? Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about managing your finances and achieving financial stability, subscribe to our channel and check out our next video on budgeting and saving.